It's new tonight. Fayetteville leaders are getting a closer look at the proposed site for that new Ramey Junior High School. 5 News reporter Laura Castleman went along and shares that leaders plan to make a decision on the site on Monday, and not everybody is happy about that.
Some are concerned about the property's trees and natural landscapes that will be removed, and this has been a concern they've been raising since talks of this has begun. While some walk to get the lay of the land,
we are giving our planning commission a tour of the site.
Others have been fighting for it.
This is an unstable hill slope.
This is the proposed site for the new Ramey Junior High.
Inspection of whether this would be a great place to build a school.
It's not where some people want to see walls go up.
I live right next to the site.
Teresa Clinton says she spent more than $120,000 to save her home from runoff and is worried the issue will return if a school is built.
Why build a school on a hill? We're having problems right now with the home.
Leaders say the plan does include building retaining walls.
There will be a retaining wall that will be roughly 40 to 42 feet tall, which is the height of a 4-story building.
Dot Neely is president of the Natural Heritage Association. She'd like to see the natural habitat preserved.
I did notice some non-indigenous species on the land which will need to be addressed, but I also noticed that when I was immersed in the forest itself, it reminded me of where I grew up.
The Planning Commission meets Monday at 5:30, and construction and school officials tell me there's still a lot of details that need to be worked out. We'll keep you posted. In Fayetteville, covering news where you live, Laura Castleman, 5 News.
Meanwhile, Washington County Quorum Court talking tonight for more than an hour about a resolution addressing recent school walkouts in the county. Students in Springdale and Fayetteville have walked out this year in protest of federal immigration enforcement. The resolution would have endorsed schools to revisit policies managing school walkouts and push efforts to, quote, teach responsible citizenship to students. Quorum Court members and residents argued extensively about whether the county has jurisdiction over this matter.
Also, I want to make it clear that this resolution does not prevent anyone from doing anything differently than they've done in the past.
Why should the Quorum Court tell the board how to feel? The state legislation of the Arkansas Access Act prevents schools from issuing excused absences for walkouts. The school already has such little wiggle room. There is no need for another motion to tell the school board what to do.
That resolution failed tonight. Even if it did pass, the Quorum Court cannot enact any legislation involving schools in the county. It can only endorse action. We first told you last night that 19 kids and counting reality show star Joseph Duggar was arrested yesterday on sexual assault charges. Investigators say the case started after they got a call from Tawnytown police about a delayed report of sexual abuse involving a child. They say the child was interviewed at a child advocacy center, and after reviewing the disclosure, investigators found it to be credible. Because the alleged crime happened in Florida, Duggar is now waiting to be taken back there.
He's going to be extradited to Florida because the crime occurred here. He's being prosecuted by our court system here in Florida, and so he has to be extradited to come personally appear before our court system.
Investigators say Duggar is now charged with 1 count of lewd or lascivious molestation and 1 count of lewd conduct. Those charges face a sentence of up to 25 years to life in prison. Oil prices climbed again today amid the ongoing war with Iran, where oil fields and natural gas facilities are being targeted. At the White House, President Trump continued to tell reporters he will not be deploying troops to the region. Erica Brown reports this comes as lawmakers continue to grill the administration's intelligence team on whether Iran actually posed an imminent threat to the U.S.
As energy costs continue to rise due to the war in Iran, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel will hold off on further attacks on Iranian gas facilities.
I told him don't do that, and he won't do that.
An earlier Israeli strike on Iran's South Pars gas field prompted a retaliatory attack on the world's largest liquefied natural gas plant in Qatar, a U.S. ally. On social media, President Trump warned if Iran struck Qatar again, the U.S. would, quote, massively blow up the entirety of the South Pars gas field at an amount of strength and power that Iran has never seen or witnessed before. And during a meeting with Japan's Prime Minister Thursday, The president downplayed the war's impact on global energy
I
prices.
thought the numbers would be worse. I thought that it would go up more than it did. But we're doing this excursion, and when it's completed, we're going to have a much safer world.
On Capitol Hill, lawmakers are pressing the White House for more information on the military strategy on the war and an exit plan for the U.S., as the Pentagon is seeking $200 billion in additional funding for the military campaign.
It takes money to kill bad guys. So we're going back to Congress and our folks there to ensure that we're properly funded for what's been done. For what we may have to do in the future.
Nearly 3 weeks into the war, the U.S. and Israel have carried out more than 16,000 strikes on Iran, and gas prices in the U.S. are up 90 cents per gallon since the start of the conflict. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Joint Chiefs Chairman Dan Kane said today the U.S. military is continuing to attack deeper into Iranian territory. Here's a look again at Arkansas. We're paying at the pump today. Prices have risen another quarter in the last week to $3.35 a gallon. Now almost $1 more than what Arkansans were paying just last month. The national average up to $3.88. It's risen 38 cents in just the last week alone.